The mass movements of people across national borders is making integration into a country one of the most critical issues faced by societies today. In order for integration to succeed, what must governments, private sector and civil society do?
First and foremost, there should be policies in place, legal frameworks and social frameworks in place in both countries of origin as well as countries of destination. Countries where migrants come in should place policies that is welcoming of them. There must be the right to social inclusion, there must be the right to education, there must be a right to decent life and so on and so forth.
There is also these studies that show that there is a general negative perception of migrants and migration. And this is especially so if migrants are low skilled and are in a irregular status. I think all of us, government, private sector, civil society, must be able to put our acts together to create a better image, positive image of migrants.
With the ASEAN economic community looming on the horizon, what more should ASEAN governments do to overcome difficulties faced when helping low-skilled migrant workers?
I think first of all, we have to recognize that migrant sending and migrant receiving countries have different priorities. When we talk about the migrant receiving countries do have the responsibility to ensure that while these low-skilled migrants are working in their countries, that they have dignified working conditions, that they are protected, and they are aware of what are their rights as workers in the receiving country. I think that with migrant sending countries, they need to ensure that there is protection for their workers who are abroad, and migrant sending countries do benefit tremendously in terms of remittances, both financial as well as social remittances that their migrants overseas send back. So it is the responsibility, I think, of migrant sending countries to protect their nationals while they're abroad.
My own experience was, as some people know, that I worked in Yunnan, China, in the mountains, and I trained village workers, village health workers, and I didn't go there with standard medical textbooks. I just went there and looked at the next 5 diseases that they needed to cure, the next 5 wounds that they need how to stitch up. And that multiplied their effect in the community. Similarly, if we are hosts to hundreds of thousands of workers, whether it's a domestic maid in a house or whether it is a shipyard worker, we should be thinking, how do we multiply their skill? Is it money down the drain? Not really, because some of them will stay back to teach the newcomers. Productivity, I think, logically goes up.
As an integrated Asian workforce slowly becomes a reality, what more should Asian governments do to keep their national identity and social cohesion intact?
When we think about national identity, we tend to assume that national identity is fixed. And in my view, national identity evolves. So national identity also has to adapt to changing demographics, especially to do with migration. We also need to recognize that Singapore is located in the region, so there is a sense of regional citizenship as well. We often talk about national citizenship, or we talk about global citizenship, but being located in ASEAN means that Singapore has to recognize, and Singaporeans have to recognize that they have a sense of regional obligations, because only when the region does well, when the region is resilient and sustainable, can Singapore thrive as well.